Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am ReverendRyu and today we're going to be having a look at Star Trek Armada III, which is a mod for Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion. Now to get started, this mod was released on February 26th of this year, 2014, and currently requires, as you can see down here, the Forbidden Worlds and the Stellar Phenomena DLC packs. These are $3.99 each on the Steam store and I recommend you pick them up. This also requires the pack for the actual mod itself from ModDB, which will also require a hotfix and for you to carry out a large address-aware exe on your Sins of a Solar Empire executable. So, what is Star Trek Armada III? Well, as you can see, we have a great big sovereign class here, so it might be a bit of a clue as to what this game's about. It is essentially a huge full mod, as in a full skin, ships, etc. A whole mod package, which turns Sins of a Solar Empire 3 into, well, a decent Star Trek game. And there haven't really been that many of them, have there? So, all of the ships in this have been taken from the CGI models, and they've been lovingly reworked and retouched so that they're absolutely perfect, and obviously some poetic license has been taken along the way to bring some of the older ships up to more modern standards and to create some new ships like Titan class ships, which are a mainstay of the Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion gameplay, while as in this they are a new ship. They are something that you haven't seen in Star Trek previously. So what is Sins of a Solar Empire / Star Trek Armada 3? It's essentially a 4X game, as in it is a game based around exploration, expansion, exploitation, and extermination. You start off with a singular world with some basic research stations, and then you expand to other worlds, you exploit those resources, and then you exterminate your opponents. At the moment, just to show you, you can currently play as the Federation here, and you can see that these have their ship icon set up. The Federation are the most well-rounded out of all of the races at the moment. They have the most ships, they have the most textures, the most voice packs, the icons are all set for them, so it's quite clear that whoever started this game was a Federation fan, and I'm quite fine with that. So you can see here you've got your Galaxy class, your Ambassador class, your Sovereigns, Intrepids, Defiants, Mirandas, Excelsiors, Akiras and Constellations. The Klingon Star Empire, the Klingon Imperial Empire are also in here as well, with your Katingas and Raptors and L6s. Obviously, as I say, they don't have the icon set for them just yet, but that's supposed to be expanded soon. The Klingons are probably the third most developed of the races, the second being the Romulans. The Romulans are very well developed, and they've been the focus of a lot of development recently from the Star Trek Armada III team. So here you got your Griffin and your White Wing. So you'll have your Deridex class cruisers, etc. And then with the Borg, obviously you have your Borg dodecahedrons, spheres, cubes, etc. A Borg cube takes a heck of a lot of resources to put together, but once you've got one, you're damn near unstoppable. So we won't be starting a new game just here. What I intend to do is to jump in and show you a game that I already have in progress. There we are, Titan Excalibur. So we'll load this up just because I have most of the ship classes already produced. I have enough production facilities to produce more if I need to, and I can show you most of the research tech trees. So let's jump in, shall we? Loading at times will take a while, other times it will be instant. So straight away here, here's the pièce de résistance of my fleet, my Titan class Excalibur, which for some reason seems to be focusing on every other ship but it at the moment. There we go. It is a beast. Clearly based off the Sovereign class, a bit chunkier, but bloody huge. Now, ships of this size, Titans, and then some of the bigger classes like your Ambassador class, your Galaxy class, etc. So let me just, there we go. They have abilities. They can level up, and when they level up, you can give them upgrades. So this one I've given the Fortified Superstructure and the Superior Gunnery upgrades, which boost its weapon damage and boost its hull restoration. Other ships, smaller ships, like the Akira class, don't have that kind of ability. Like the Excelsior class, and they have their own unique abilities. So this one's had the Lakota refit, so it's a bit more punchier. This Akira class has proximity torpedoes, and it has a battle refit, which I researched for it. Status report. Intrepid class can do tachyon sweep, so they can pick up mines. So they're really good as scout vessels. So this is a small fleet here, a very small fleet. So let's zoom out and find my other one. So I'll show you some of the ships and then we'll get into a bit more detail about this game. Here we are.
Alert the crew.
Come back over here, guys. So these guys currently at the moment are set up as a fleet, at least they should be, and they will use proper fleet formations when they are in a fleet. You can manage their shuttles and runabouts, and if there's any ships that need to level up, you can select them and level them up as well. To explain what else is going on around the screen here, on the left you have all of your fleet icons, so you can easily see exactly how many ships are in your empire at any given time, and you can jump between worlds this way and to individual ships as well. On the top right here you have your credits, which are earned by planets, and the resources that are mined there, and you can also earn titanium and dilithium, which are used to construct things. This is your fleet supply, which you can upgrade via researching points along here. So you can see I'm up to here having crisis training fronts, which gives me a current capital command of 10, and then I can upgrade that to 12. But your upkeep levels up each time. You have to pay more depending on how much more supply you need. So at the moment I have 130 supply available out of about 1,000. Yeah, 1,000 supply. But that costs me, I have 47% of my overall output as upkeep for that fleet. The Science Council has found this data archive on a planet because I explored the planet. When you take a planet, you have the ability to explore, to expand their civilian infrastructure, the logistical infrastructure, their tactical infrastructure, and then to build production and tactical facilities around the planet. But you also have the ability to find artifacts, and this data archive is one of those artifacts which decreases my research cost. Starfleet Academy, as I say, shows you how to upgrade your fleet size. The Foreign Consulate allows you to explore diplomatic relations with other species. I don't use it that much. The Federation Council will allow you to explore other new worlds and settle them using different technologies. The Orbital Command will give you specific technologies relating to your space stations, and the Fleet Shipyards will allow you to research new ship hulls and designs, new weaponry, and then new hull upgrades for them as well. So you want to be researching stuff all the time, basically, otherwise you're going to have a pretty archaic fleet very quickly. So let's have a look at some of these ships, shall we? Let's start with something small. Here's a Constellation class. You'd recognise this as the USS Stargazer, Picard's previous command before the NCC 1701D. It's quite nice. The top's a little bare and there's no markings on it, but that's to be expected. What have we got here? This is a Defiant class. It's quite pretty. The Defiant class is a really nice ship, and as a plot device it's fantastic because obviously the cloak and the fact that it's so small and nimble, the pocket battleship aesthetic's really going for it, but for me I've never really liked it that much as a ship. Here you have an Intrepid class, complete with voice samples for Catherine Janeway, and yes, you would recognise this as exactly the same hull type as USS Voyager. I'm just going to switch to cinematic mode there so we don't have to see the icons. Here we have an Ambassador class.
All sections report.
Primarily used for colonising new worlds. Very archaic design there. Another Constellation class. Let's go over here to my favourite ship type. So see, I collect the Eagle Moss ships, which are, they're a magazine range which has just started in Canada and America as well, and they come with these die-cast models of the ships. I have about 20-25 on the side over there. I'll probably overlay a picture right about now just to show you what they look like. But the Akira class is my absolute favourite. There's something about it. It's designed to be kind of a carrier battleship where shuttlecrafts and shuttle runabouts would be able to come out the back here defended by these two pylons and this gunnery array across the top there. It's a very nice design, and you can tell that it strongly influenced the NX-01 when they were designing it for the Enterprise series. Over here is another classic that a lot of people will immediately recognise as Ensign Hikaru Sulu's command ship. This is the upgraded Excelsior, so this would have been the Excelsior B if you want to call it that way, where it has the extended gondola, the wider side fins, and the extra impulse drives as well. The Excelsior is a beautiful ship, I've always liked it.
All power to engines.
And of course, this one really does need no introduction. boldly going where no one has gone before. The USS Enterprise Galaxy class starship. Whoa. The only problem with the Galaxy class is that you can just build them as a normal ship. This one is not actually the Enterprise, but hey, it's a Galaxy class. You can warp in the Enterprise. Here's a Miranda class that you might recognize as Khan's ship from Wrath of Khan, aka the USS Reliant. Very nice ship design. I love the roll bar design with the photon launchers. And does it have? Yes, 1 and 2 on the shuttle bay doors. Where else? Do we have any more? Have a Sovereign class, which you might recognise as the USS Enterprise NCC 1701E, different to the others as it has the golden deflector coils there and the more triangular / pyramidian warp nacelles. A little Saber class over here, kind of a variant on the Miranda but with a mix of Excelsior in there as well. Oh, someone just jumped in system. Oh my. Whole fleet of rebel ships. This planet was in open rebellion, see, and the occupants decided that they wanted to do something about their corporate overlords, as it were. Me. So you can see the effects are something else. And this is just what I want to talk about for a minute. It's the graphics of this game. It's really what sells it. The ship designs are absolutely amazing, and the battle graphics. This is like something out of Eve right here. True to the series, phasers, quantum torpedoes, photon torpedoes. Decent shield graphics. There's decent warp jump graphics for them as well, taken straight from Sins of the Solar Empire, but then touched up to match Next Generation. You can see some core breaches going off here and there. We have full capacity on our shuttles and runabouts. So in battles like this, the fleet will pretty much govern itself. The AI is a little clunky when it comes to maneuvering, obviously. But when it comes to coordinating attacks, as long as the ships are in a fleet together, you won't have too much of a problem. This symbol here denoting the flagship of the fleet there, the Akira class. They will reform the fleet afterwards, ready for another threat. And they're set so that if anything hostile enters the planet's gravity well, they will immediately move to engage it. So, I believe, was my Titan over here? Yes. So here it was the Titan that I wanted to show you.
All crew stand ready.
Now this is an Excalibur class Titan called the USS Avignon. And it is beautiful. You have the Reliant class, sorry, the Miranda class style numbers on the shuttle pod doors 1, 2, 3 and 4 there. The running lights are a nice touch on the back. Not sure I like this quasi ribbed nacelle, but I like the fact that the nacelles are both top and bottom as well. Very strong deflector coil, sensor nodules, very similar to the Stargazer / Constellation class. Very, very thick hull design. Judging by the size of it, this thing must have about 40 decks. It's huge. So let's go and send this to regroup with the rest of our fleet, shall we? Which is over here.
Adjust heading.
So while I'm here, I can show you how to upgrade planets. So this planet was recently taken by my Ambassador class starship. You can see that it has tritanium mines and a dilithium mine here. The dilithium mine has not been built yet, but luckily when you take over or colonize a planet, you get given a little construction ship. So what we're going to do here is build a dilithium mine straight away, and then we'll follow this up with, well, we don't need any more research stations, so instead we'll build a refinery, a Maya type and a Halifax type shipyard, and then from there we can upgrade the civilian infrastructure of the planet, which will allow the population to grow faster. Under development tax will drop off the chart, and I will have a higher max population as well. So we'll do that a couple of times. We'll upgrade the logistical capacity of the planet and the tactical capacity of the planet, which just allows you to put more objects into orbit. We'll explore the planet twice, install some emergency facilities, just in case the planet starts coming under attack, and we'll put this planet on industrial specialization. So you can see that absolutely destroyed the amount of money I had. But with titanium and dilithium, you can sell them using these little buttons up here. So I can sell a whole bunch of my titanium now, which will crash the market for a short while, but I won't need to be buying any. So that's made me a lot of money. With that, I can buy some dilithium, and everything levels itself out. Others' opinions of this player. The Klingons do not like me. They do attack me every time they see me. So as you can see, I've researched everything along here. All of the ships, right up to the Sovereign class. But I'm still missing out on some of the gunneries. So we're going to upgrade to Mark 9 torpedoes. And we're going to give our capital ships and some frigates the Tau Matrix Compositors. What does that do? A modern upgrade of the old Phaeton Matrix Compositors used on board early Galaxy and Intrepid class starships. The new Tau Matrix Compositors improve antimatter production by recrystallizing dilithium while still in the intermix chamber. This novel technique was famously pioneered by Ambassador Spock during the Whale Probe crisis of 2286. And there you go. So we're going to research that nice and quick. So in this game, things can move a little slow. So you can always speed it up. Then your research flies along, your money accrues quickly, your fleet will reform itself much faster, and you'll be able to deal with threats in a much worse fashion. Because they'll happen, and by the time you've actually launched the fleet to deal with them, it's all over. So what we really want to be doing is heading to either Pironan or Singhai and taking these planets back. Because there's a hell of a lot of mines there. We're going to have to do something about that, but I'm waiting for my Titan reinforcements to turn up. So we've had a look at the graphics. Let's talk a bit about the stability of this game. Now obviously, because this is a very complex mod, there are a lot of things that can go wrong. I've found so far that loading cloud-saved Steam games doesn't work. So whatever you do, if you're playing this, don't save any games to the cloud and then attempt to load them in the mod. It just won't work. I've also found that loading excessively large save files, so I had a game where I was playing against the Romulans 4 hours in, and my empire was vast, very, very big. I had completely maximized the fleet capacity, and every time I've attempted to load that game since, Sins of the Solar Empire has crashed. That is sad, but it happens. I've also had faults with alt-tabbing out, and I've also had faults where whenever I boot into the game, the cursor will be 1.5 inches down and to the right for no apparent reason. A simple reset of the refresh rate does seem to get rid of it, but I shouldn't really have to do that in the first place. So, gameplay. What is there really to do? Well, obviously you take your fleet, you expand through the sector, you attempt to find your enemy's homeworld, and then you blow the ever-loving snot out of it. At the moment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to group all my fleets back together. Okay, there we go. Oh, wrong way. Get my fleet together. Oh, tell you what. I'll show you them jumping just because it's quite nice. Nope, nope, get rid of that. Oh.
Ensign, warp speed now.
See, that's pretty cool.
Prepare the docking bays.
Here they come.
All sections report.
There go my boys. Now what we really want is our Intrepid classes to come forwards and start pulling sweeps of this area. So let's see if we can't find a couple of the little bastards. There you are.
All sections stand by.
That was stupid.
Status report.
You will be coming over
Just
here.
heading.
No, not all of you.
All sections report.
Just you.
Armed and ready. Alter course.
You come over here.
Adjust heading.
My shuttlecraft and my runabouts will be bombarding this weapons platform. So I don't have to worry too much about that. There's quite enough of them.
Crew standing
My
by.
Titan has a
Bring
suicide
engines to full.
wish by the look of it.
All sections report.
Right, you kind of need to, you know, hold fire at the moment, but you can't really tell them to do that, so
All
we'll just tell them
sections
to
stand by.
localize their attacks.
Alter course.
Now, I could lose my Intrepid class if I get too close. There we go, that should pick up some of the mines in the scan.
Crew standing by.
Let's grab a couple more ships.
Armed and ready.
What are you
Status
doing?
report.
You crazy fool.
Armed and
You don't
ready.
charge into a minefield. What's wrong with you? Well, I basically lost that Intrepid class. Oh dear. That did not go well. Problem is, your fleet will always attempt to move and engage what they believe to be a threat. Problem is, the enemy knows that, and it will put its threats inside minefields, so that your ships will come charging in to attack the threats, and then mow themselves down on the minefield. So we're going to get all of our fleet the hell out of here. So you will have a lot of this. You'll have a new planet, you'll get there, you'll develop it, you'll build a lot of stuff around it, a single Klingon ship will show up, you move all of your fleet to engage it, and then suddenly you realise that there's a hell of a lot more ships that you needed to worry about that you haven't been worrying about. Let's chuck in a Nebula class here, and maybe some more Excelsiors, some Defiants, and another couple more Intrepids, and get them all to spawn there. See, so you can set rally points, and now all of those ships will build there, and I can even set those ships to rally to any of the other planets should I need them to.
All hands to battle stations.
Indeed. Let's see you all move together.
All sections report.
So let's grab a nice looking ship, shall we? Let's grab the Galaxy class here. So what will happen here is when you have them set to all move grouped, they will all line up their jumps together. You'll see the shuttlecraft will return to their hosts. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you
We
doing?
await your command.
Oh, okay, you're just being crazy. So yeah, they'll all vector themselves towards their jump point, and then once they're all ready, they will all jump together.
Standing by.
You ready? Any second now.
Engage engines.
There we go. There we go, warp speeding it to the next location with the fleet. And then any second, it might take a minute. So let's zoom right out. See, a bigger jump like this will take longer. So other things you have to worry about in this game are things like crystalline entities showing up in your locations, the occasional Borg drone just popping up, some strange stellar phenomenon like a supernova happening, or a solar flare, or a coronal mass ejection. Oh shit! Oh shit! Run away! Shit!
Alter course.
That is a minefield.
Battle stations.
That is a very big minefield. They knew exactly what they were doing there.
Alter course.
Okay, let's see if we can't
Changing heading.
move around this. Ooh, I did not expect that. They clearly knew I was coming.
Understood.
So let's stack some
Alter
commands here.
Changing heading. Understood. Alter course. Battle stations.
Like so. And then,
Acknowledge Starfleet.
make sure my
All
Titan doesn't
sections stand by.
pop any mines on the way past.
Status report.
There we go. And luckily, my shuttlecraft have done the job for me. wiping out all of the defenses there were. Allowing me... So you just saw a stellar phenomena show up there. Coronal mass ejection just hit Peronin. It would be a good idea to use that as a cover to leave. Or at least get back to one of my friendly planets.
Unable to comply.
Why are you unable to comply?
Crew standing by.
Oh, I see. I didn't actually have any ships selected. That was stupid of me. Right, send them all to Kamanyar. So yeah, this has just been a quick look. I just wanted to show you the game, give you an idea of what it looked like, how it felt. The fact that you're constantly having to research things can be a bit annoying at times, sure. I suppose the biggest question you'll be asking yourself is, why should I get this? Well, if you're a Star Trek fan, then, to be honest, the attraction is obvious. You get to have pretty much every ship you've ever dreamed of. You get to control them, you get to listen to the voice samples, you get to send them into battles. It's, as I say, the attraction is apparent. It should be to anybody. Who didn't want to take their very own perfectly rendered Galaxy-class starship into battle, pretending they were Picard destroying the Borg? It's a dream anybody who's watched Star Trek has. And I'm glad that I'm one of those people. I'm glad that I've had the time to be able to spend and watch a series like Star Trek. I'm thankful for Gene Roddenberry for giving it to us. But right now I'm very thankful for the guys who've put this mod together. It looks and handles really well. It's insanely fun. The ship models are gorgeous and so much fun to play with. It's so much fun to unlock, like the Nebula variants, the Excelsior variants. To see these ships that were lauded for so many years as being, you know, the very edifice of the Federation, the very, how can I put it, the very platonic principle of the Federation made manifest. That's what these ships were, and to have a fleet of them under your command is not only empowering, but it really does strike the imagination in a way I really appreciate. The final question I ask of any game is it fun? That's a very difficult question to ask with something based on Sins of a Solar Empire. The core of the game itself isn't really designed to be fun per se. It's designed to be enjoyable. The difference there I make is you can enjoy doing tax returns, you can enjoy balancing a ledger book, you can enjoy doing some of the finer points of code, but they wouldn't be classed as fun to an observer, and that's the point, is objective bias given by an observer. Here, I'd say that the piloting of the ships, the big battles, flying the ships between worlds and creating your own empire, that's fun.
Engage.
The research, the logistical side of it, the building up of the science points that you need to unlock stuff and then progressing along the tech tree, not so much. The problems that arise from controlling an enormous star empire will become readily apparent. And as I say, those can be very not fun. But if you like Star Trek, if you enjoy the source material, if you like the look of the ships, and if you want a genuine Star Trek fleet game, which hasn't existed for a while, let's remember that, then I'd say this is for you. The mod itself is free. I picked up Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion for about £15, so what, like $21 US, and the DLC packs from Green Man Gaming are £2.99 as opposed to the £3.99 on Steam. So I'd say check it out on GMG and you might be able to save yourself a bit of money. But otherwise I'm going to stick a link for this mod down below. I strongly advise you, if you've already got the game, to download it, and if you don't, check out just check it out. Just get it. I mean, you're not going to hurt yourself in the long run. Sins of a Solar Empire itself is a very fun game. There's thousands of hours worth of gameplay in there with all of the different factions, and there's so many different styles of gameplay in there that you're never going to be left wanting. You're always going to be able to turn off this mod, go back and think, holy crap, this is a completely different game that acts in a totally different way to the way I'm used to. Its aesthetics completely different. There's nothing really similar that transfers over, so it will feel like a substantially different game. All in all, it's worth the money, i.e. the mod being free, and Sins of a Solar Empire itself is definitely worth the money, so I'd recommend you go to Green Man Gaming and make it so.